cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from Unapologetically Progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. Now that's a walk-on song right there. Our guest today specializes in Iridology, Reiki, detoxification, nutritional programs, weight loss, herbal solutions, holistic wellness consultations, and she's the founder of the African Culture and Wellness Festival, a vegan AllStars chef, an African dance instructor, and more. Dr. Sharita Yazid, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We've been talking about this forever.
Yes, it has been a couple of years.
Yeah, we finally got you in here, and I'm so pleased. But hopefully we won't wait so long next time.
For sure.
You said it's my house. And I Live Here was your walk-on song because
we need to live inside of our house instead of just exist.
And then by house, you mean our body, temple.
Live inside of our temple. This is the first church, the first mosque, the first temple that the Most High has given us. Before we go into any other building, we have to make sure that this house is clean. And we all know when it's not, we have different things that take us out of alignment. And our house gets dirty and things start to cracks in the ceilings and in the floors and the paint comes off. And, we don't do things to maintain it. And then next thing you know, you have a lot to do to repair. And, with a regular house, it'll take a lot of money all at one time. When you're not able to keep up the maintenance, as things fall apart. Yeah. So
and the other thing is, unlike any other house, you can't move out of it.
Right. Exactly.
If you're moving out, you're moving on.
Right. Exactly. So very true. And then, when your house is clean, it's easy for spirit to exist there. Always exists in there, but it's just like looking through a dirty window. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get to the point where we start to take more attention and focus on what we're eating, what we're listening to, our environment, the people that we're around, what gives us peace, what gives us joy, and forget the rest,
So when you say our house, our body temple being clean, you're talking about food, hygiene, spiritual maintenance, mental health. You're talking about clean.
All your houses, your mental house, your physical house, your spiritual house. Yeah.
Interesting that you say, I guess traditionally people fast and pray to, they fast to elevate themselves spiritually.
Yes.
But it sounds like you're saying even when we're not fasting, what we are ingesting is changing our spiritual receptivity.
Oh, definitely. When a house is not clean, it's hard to have pure thoughts. It's hard to have clarity, on things. It just makes it to where your energy doesn't feel right. Like when your house or your room is not clean and you feel a little, down or depressed. But then as soon as you clean it up, everything just kind of brightens up.
Yeah. I really can't get anything done when the house is a mess.
Exactly.
So, Man, y'all are making me a conspiracy theorist this morning. I don't know what this is, but when you said that, I started thinking about how our communities are full of fast food and junk.
Exactly.
And we have these food deserts. And if what you are saying is true, which it makes sense that it would be, then we are being not only cut off from physical well-being, but from spiritual elevation.
Exactly. So, we have our place in the city of Compton and has been there since 1976. And, and I live in Ghana, so I'm between there and Ghana. And so when I'm in Ghana, I'm in a really peaceful neighborhood, even if I go into the slums or the village, it's still a different attitude. You know what I'm saying? But when I come here, we're activists. We're doing this community work. Like what I see, the deprivation and things like that, the graffiti on the walls, the trash in the streets and all those different things, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't. I have to do a lot to keep myself elevated. I have to keep a vision of what it's supposed to be and what we want it to be, as opposed to looking at what's right there in front of me, to keep my spirit lifted. You see, so when you don't have those options to have, healthy choices, it does reflect in the community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your father, of course, both of us walk around with these legendary shadow. I don't want to call it a shadow because shadow sounds dark, but shoes, big shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad, Dr. Paul Goss, was, in my opinion, super pioneering.
Yeah.
In the holistic health and wellness space,
Yes.
and trained a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
Including Dr. Sebi, who everyone idolizes now because he worked with Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people, Dr. Rab, Dr. Sebi, I mean, on and on.
I want to make a correction there,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people think that he taught Dr. Sebi. They were more like colleagues or
Right.
comrades.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
that's respectful.
Mhm.
But what I'll say is that, from my observation and interviewing people over the years, most of them acknowledge that they learned from your father.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your father was an organic chemist
Yes.
who
Mhm.
decided to become a naturopath.
Yes.
And who had a holistic place in Compton in 1976.
Just Dr. Paul Goss and the family.
Right. And Dr.
Yeah.
Goss made his transition.
Yeah. August 1st, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's-
I love you, Dad, Dr.
Yeah.
Paul. Me and Dr. Goss were
Yeah.
good.
He was one of his favorite people. He talked
Yeah.
about you all the time.
Yeah, I love me some Dr. Goss.
Mhm.
But now you have carried on the business, and you already had your own business. Not like you were just, out here with nothing to do. Like, you already a full-fledged holistic healer in your own right with your own clientele and your world. Dr. Goss passes and you've carried on.
Well, me and my sister and mother and staff, we've been there, the whole time.
Yeah, of course.
From the age of 6, is when we opened up, and I remember even before we opened, whenever we my father would have clients, of course, before he started making all these formulations and he developed new body products, but we used to we used to put the herbs inside the capsules as children. You know what I'm saying? He'll have a big bowl, and then he'll put some, whatever mixture is inside. We have our capsules, and then we take in, we put in the powder on one side and closing it on the other side, and coughing, because of the dust and the, we used to hate it, actually.
That's hilarious.
I was like, this is child labor.
It reminds me of my mom. She had us collating books, on the because she's a poet, on the kitchen table. It's kind of the same thing. Now that I think of it, I'm old back babe.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so we've been there since. I think the only thing I did outside of the business was, I think I worked at Costco and the bank, and all that was within a year and a half. Other than that, I've been with the company. Yeah.
Right, but you have your own clientele.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have your own.
Yeah, mostly because I lived in Atlanta
Right.
for about 20 years, and then I've been in Ghana for the last 17 years. So I would say most of my clientele is in Ghana right now, even though I do phone consultations and Zoom for people here in the States as well. Yeah.
Right. But since 2021, you're also carrying the New Body
Yeah, I think
brand,
the difference,
which is a huge brand that with a wildly popular CKLS that
Yes.
people use for detox and weight loss.
yes, yes. So, yeah, we're still carrying on, still running the machines. We never stopped. I mean, I think the only day we closed was, of course, the day we had his memorial, because we knew that he wouldn't want us to stop. Even the day that he passed away, everybody was still at work, because we know our father, he was a workaholic, and he's just like, don't stop, just keep it going. I might not be here physically, but spiritually, energetically, definitely, he's still there.
Yeah, people have a hard time
Yeah.
getting their mind around that. I was on the radio the day after my dad passed
Okay.
because I knew he would want me to be. Wait,
Yeah.
what do you mean you're not going to work?
Exactly.
You can mourn me after the show is
Yeah,
over. I know my
yeah,
dad.
yeah.
So, and I know, that makes sense. Well, I'm glad you're here. It's great timing. A lot of folks are about to punish their bodies over the next few days. And we
Yeah.
can spend some time, giving people some good alternative information, some ideas. So we continue the conversation with Dr. Sharita Yazid. You can call in if you have a question, comment, conversation. You want to pick a fight? We good. 800-920-1580. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, this cold.
Honey,
Honey?
honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Ugh, now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Talk 1580 is the place. Dominique DiPrima is the host and our guest today. I'm so happy we finally made it happen.
Yeah.
Dr. Sharita looking like she's straight out of Ghana.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw you, you did the last interview for my father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was 2020.
It was 2020. It was right. I actually was at the at New Body for his memorial, but you guys were busy mourning and all that.
Yeah, I actually caught COVID.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was just.
That's really crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in Ghana, no COVID. I come here. All the stress and
Yeah,
losing somebody.
that brings
it
your
weakens
immune
your
system
immune
down.
sy-
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were doing so much. So I was just like, nah, let's just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a testament to how much I admired your dad, because honestly, back then in most of my life until about a couple months ago, I just don't do funerals. It's just something I haven't been good at. But I realize you have to
I'm the same.
woman up and make it happen, because
Yeah.
people, it brings some comfort to people. Yeah, so let's talk about, you talk about our house, our body temple. And I know that you're vegan.
Yes.
Dr. Goss was vegan.
Uh-huh.
He was a big proponent of veganism. But people are about to eat a bunch of turkey, ham, whatever else y'all got going, stuffing.
Yeah, you know what? Let me say something just about this vegan thing, right? So my father he didn't want to accept the word vegan. Vegetarian, he said we're vegetarians. Vegetarians eat plants, we eat vegetation. And so he said, and all these people who's trying to call themselves vegetarian and still eating, fish or milk and dairy products, they changed the name because when he got started, you didn't hear the word vegan in 1976.
Right.
And then vegan also means that you are not eating anything animal, you're not wearing anything animal, like leather or.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what the vegan is.
The
really,
real
it's really
hardcore
more
vegans,
about animal rights.
Yeah.
Right. It's just that it's become a word to use. So when you're talking to somebody about your diet, at least they know, okay, if you're vegan, that means there's no animal products at all. So it's just to be able to be, I guess, politically correct with your diet. But it actually came about as a animal rights. So I tell people who are saying that they're vegan, and so I do African dance. I said I can't call myself vegan because and then I also play basketball. So we got the ball, and then we also have the drum. You're beating on cow skin. You see what I'm saying? So I said I'm vegetarian.
I got you. Well, and you know what? I have a theory. We're all on the food chain, right? I mean, if the cow could eat you, or if the cow wanted to eat you, it would, right? So it should be about well-being.
Yes, it should be about well-being, but the cow only chews the grass, and usually the animals that we eat are usually vegetarian animals.
We don't eat lions and tigers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
That said, I mean, I'm just responding to this moral thing. I drove by a PETA sign yesterday that said wool is cruel. I'm like, my eye roll, keep driving.
Right.
Because that's when we get into, your political agenda, you have a right to it. But to me, we're talking about well-being.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know some people do tofurkey and all kinds of alternate menus. But if you were talking to one of your clients who's not vegetarian, plant-based, what would you say about the next few days?
You're talking about in reference to the holidays, right?
Yeah.
So
maybe I should say few weeks.
Right. True. Actually a few months, because this is going to happen all the way to January.
Yeah.
But so one, if I have a client that's going through some kind of ailment and they need to stop eating the meats and all the different toxic foods, and they need to be juicing and taking certain herbs for cleansing and blood purification and dewormers, if they, eating raw foods and things like that, which is usually the diet I put you on when you're going through some sort of ailment. So now you come to me, you got this issue, I put you on this program. Next 2 days, you got to go to, mama's house for Thanksgiving, and you know what's going to be there. So I tell them to do what I normally eat before you go. Make sure don't go hungry, for one. When you get there, you're probably going to slip and eat that mac and cheese or that piece of turkey or that thing that you just got to have, that's dressing.
I'm not going to lie, Dr. Sharita. That ain't a slip for me. I'm looking forward to it.
Right. So the thing is, I always tell people, you're not going to be perfect all the time. Even me, I'm not perfect all the time when it comes down to being plant-based 100%. I like salmon. And I might have it like once a year, once every 2 years. But when I have a taste for it, I'm going to eat it. You see, but I counteract it. You see what I'm saying? I know it's going to be some sort of levels of toxins. It's going to be parasites inside and things like that. So, of course, I take my colon cleanser. I take my blood purifier. And then I drink lots and lots of water.
Blood purifier, too. Wow.
Yeah. You want to cleanse your blood, and like I said, dewormer.
Are you talking about like a dandelion or red clover?
Yeah, dandelion, red clover, burdock.
Burdock.
I
didn't know that.
Burdock, yellow
blood.
dock, chaparral, garlic, cayenne pepper.
Garlic cures a lot of things.
Yes, yes, it does. It
Especially
does.
if you're willing to just eat the whole thing. Like,
Right, exactly. And it keeps the vampires away too.
Yeah, that's always
and,
good.
And bad friends.
Especially when you're in LA, because a lot of vampires over there.
Okay.
So now, so blood cleanser, colon cleanser. Of course, these are formulas that you have at New Body.
Yes.
But and water.
Yes. Plenty of spring water.
What is the New Body colon cleanse that you're talking about?
The CKLS.
Okay.
The CKLS.
Yeah, which people, like I said, that one is so popular. Some stores keep it behind the counter because people use it for weight loss. In fact, I have observed that some people want to just gorge on a bunch of bad stuff for a long time, and then they think they can go take CKLS for a few days and flush it all out, and they're magically cured.
Right. So, of course, they're not cured, but at least, when people do that, I stop being so hard on people or beat up on people, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we have addiction, and these processed foods are very, very addictive. They make it that way. Anything that can stay on the shelf for a year, in a package, it has to be something in there to cause you to be addicted. It's all kind of chemicals. So the thing is, I know when it can be hard and it can be a journey. I might be a little harder on people who are actually going through serious things like cancer, or chronic high blood pressure, or respiratory issues and things like that. So I don't really give any, don't ask me, can I eat this? Can I eat that? I'm like, no, you have to stay on point. It's going to be your choice. But my thing is that if you end up slipping and you're eating something that doesn't fall in line with having a clean body, then do those things to counteract it. We're going to probably be drinking alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you have lots of water. And then in the evening, maybe take some chaparral. You know what I'm saying, or some yellow dock to help to cleanse the blood, and drink lots of water, you see. And then sugar. A lot of us have addiction to sugar. Oh, I'm a crackhead. I'm gonna let you know right now. But even though I might keep it vegan, but I know when it comes down to, I go through these. I was with Ayana Gregory a few weeks ago, Dick Gregory's daughter, and we're the same. We have so much in common. It's like once we met a few years ago, we just became, soul sisters, because it's like we laugh about our childhood and our parents and how we grew up. And so she has that same thing. She said, I just have this sugar thing. So for me, I counteracted with just eating a lot of watermelon juice. I said, just eat lots of watermelon or watermelon juice, and then
that counteracts sugar.
Well, it'll take away the craving.
It's so sweet. Oh,
it'll help because you have a natural sugar.
You take it before you eat. You don't eat sugar and then drink watermelon.
Just So say you're going through this thing where you're just on a sugar binge and you need to break it.
Right.
But when you break it, it's a drug. It's the number one drug on the market. Right. And you know what happens when you try to stop eating sugar? You become a mad person. You go through withdrawals and all these different things. So to avoid that, you still have to eat something sweet, but something natural. So I'll eat watermelon for 2-3 days, not necessarily only by itself, but just when I want something sweet, that's what I take. And then all of a sudden, that sweet craving is gone. I don't want those vegan cookies or those.
Really?
Yeah, it works like magic.
Because I'm definitely on the sugar crack train, but I don't do so much refined sugar because I have that hypoglycemia situation. But I agave it up. And all that, which is still sugar, right?
Yeah,
the agave, the honey, the fruit concentrate.
Yeah, the agave would probably be the best because it has a low glucose index. But still, we can still use a lot. And it's very, very sweet.
Right.
So the whole thing is, and that can kind of probably help you to deal with all those cravings, but it's best to have something that's the least processed. And, of course, fruit. Only thing you're doing is taking off the pilling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, not processed at all.
Yeah, it's not packaged. It's packaged by the Most High. So once you do it, it works like, I did it and then I was like, oh, I don't have a craving. Then I did it again. By the third time, I was convinced, this is the ticket. So this is what I tell people. Sugar is I think with African people in the U.S., sugar is, in the Caribbean, sugar is very big. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We put it in a lot of our foods, and we have to have it sweet, sweet, sweet. When I go to Africa, they can't take our sweet. They can't eat our pancakes.
Honestly, I can't
Yeah.
either. Like my sweet is not sweet to other people.
Mm.
But yeah. And fat, I mean fried. Fried is, my other downfall. I love French fries. French fries.
That was
French
my
fries
father's
for breakfast,
weakness.
lunch, and dinner.
That was his only weakness. French fries or just potatoes, potatoes in general,
which
whatever.
aren't the best thing to be
Yeah,
eating. Right.
yeah, but that would be the only thing he would, okay, this is my cheat.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that if you're feeling sick, whether it's a chronic disease like cancer or diabetes, or you're just having a flu, that you advise people to go vegan and to get much more strict on their diet. Why?
Because it helps the body to regenerate. Because when you're eating all the sugars and the meats and with all the uric acid inside, and you're taking in alcohol and smoking cigarettes and things like that, you're just tearing down the body, right? So, and then you end up with these different diseases with respiratory or high blood pressure, heart disease, and things like that. So when you eat plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, when you're eating plants, the least processed as possible. In other words, you still need to be able to identify that is some sort of vegetable, or that is
right. So it's not
yeah.
necessarily an Impossible Burger or a soy creation.
Right. Exactly.
Look at this amazing whatever. It's something that is actually made out of
that's
a
just
plant that you could
crossover food.
identify.
But when you're eating
Crossover
like
food.
lots of green juices and lots of green foods, as much raw as possible, the more raw the better, then the body starts to regenerate. It starts to rebuild itself. And then it gives the body some relief from trying to work on getting rid of all these toxins that we constantly put into our system.
So even we only have 30 seconds and we'll continue on the other side of news, traffic, and sports. But even if I'm not vegan, not vegetarian, and I never want to be, I'm a, committed meat eater or whatever. If I get sick or if I'm facing a chronic illness, I should consider going vegetarian until my body can heal.
Yes.
All right. We're talking.
It's a lifestyle change.
Yes, it is. We're talking with Dr. Sharita Yazid and you, 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Kelly Oubre Jr., who is black, may be nearing a return to game action. The Philadelphia 76ers participated in an on-court workouts as he continues to recover from a fractured rib. Oubre says that he was injured during a hit and run on November 11th when a car clipped him with its side mirror while he crossed the street. The Sixers said that Oubre will be reevaluated in about a week. Andre 3000's new album, The New Blue Sun, is getting remixed by producer Dem Joints, and Snoop Dogg wants to join in on the action. Taking to Instagram, Joints posted several videos sharing a preview of several remixes of Andre's new songs. One beat here's a producer adding funky drums to the track. I swear I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is literally the way the wind blew me this time. Snoop Dogg told Joints to send him the beat ASAP. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Staples Holiday Deals mean amazing savings for the holiday season. Right now, save 50% on custom holiday cards and invitations, as well as custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. Offer ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers win their third straight. They cruised past Utah to win by 32 at Crypto.com. The Lakers had 35 assists. Efficient game for LeBron, 17 points, 9 assists in 24 minutes. LeBron sat out the fourth quarter. The Lakers needed a blowout like this to give LeBron some valuable rest. He played 40 minutes in Sunday's win over Houston. The Lakers would need a well-rested LeBron tonight. They play Dallas at Crypto, 7 o'clock tip. The Clippers are back in action tonight. They're in San Antonio to play the Spurs again. The Clippers beat the Spurs by 25 on Monday. The top 4 schools in the college football playoff rankings: Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington. If the regular season ended today, these 4 schools would be in the playoffs to battle for the national championship. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
We've got a lot to talk about. Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today I spoke with Tatiana, a community manager for JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Tatiana Roberts. I am a community manager for JP Morgan Chase. I have to honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling position that I've ever had, where I get to give back to the community because I saw my mom's struggles. That's really what fuels what I do to make sure that that the community has all the access to the resources that my mother didn't have.
So for the mother who's in business, what are 3 quick tips you can give to ensure that they're on the right path to accessing financial support from a bank like Chase?
Say number 1, just make sure that you're checking your credit on a consistent basis and taking action to either fix your credit, maintain your credit, or rebuild your credit. The second thing would be budget. I know that B word is kind of like ugly for, right? A lot of people don't like that B word, but it has to be done. We need to tell our money where to go. The last thing is to build a network of supporters that are going to lift you up.
The community building here in Crenshaw is that network. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
You are, and my guest this morning, I'm so excited. We've been trying to get this together, but she lives in Ghana, so we where she's in the building. She's an iridologist. She is a specialist in herbal solutions, holistic wellness, and so much more. She is a naturopath, Dr. Sharita Yazid, and we're talking about well-being. A New Body is the company that your father founded, but your family continues.
Yes.
And you guys have all kinds of herbal products. I think maybe the most famous thing about the New Body is, I think, newbody.net, or is it the newbodyproduct.net?
Yes, as far as the website.
Yeah, is the cleanse, right?
Mm-hmm.
That olive oil cleanse, which, is not for the weak. I've done it before.
Yeah, I'm even past due myself. I try to do it every 6 months.
Every 6 months, the full olive oil cleanse.
Yeah, it's recommended do every 3 to 6 months, because unless you're straight vegetarian, raw foods, juicing all the time, and 80% of your food is not cooked. 80% is raw. Then you don't have to, because you're always cleansing. Which is hardly any of us, right? Right, exactly.
New Body Products with an S, newbodyproducts.net. You can order stuff there. But that cleanse, it's pretty intense. I don't know if I could do it every 3 to 6 months. But I had a girlfriend who did it, and it changed her life. She's now vegan. She's been vegan ever since. We had a meeting with Dr. Goss, and she did the cleanse, and now she's vegan. Other than that cleanse, are there any other that you recommend? What do you think about the whole detox craze? I think a lot of people really do it for weight loss more than purification. What would you say to us about cleanses in general?
Well, I do recommend also doing blood purifiers, which we have one called Freedom, and then a dewormer, and then a multi-nutrient or multivitamin, as you're going through a cleanse. Like the one we have, you go 7 days altogether, and you drink an olive oil on the first day with lemon juice. And for the first 24 hours, you're not eating anything. After your first maybe 2 bowel movements, you can have like some apple juice, some water, or things like that. But then you don't start eating anything to that next day, and then you're taking more herbs. So you're doing only fruits and vegetables and juice and water, maybe some raw seeds and nuts. But even with the nuts, you have to soak them first before you eat it. The whole thing is that you want your food to have a water content, not so dry, in order for it to digest better. So like I said, it's recommended to do that because, like, for example, my children, I have 6 children, raised 6 children. And sometimes, you can't watch everything that they do. You can't watch everything that they eat. And they might start acting out a little bit. I get a call from the teacher, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, your children don't usually act like this, or just kind of, talking a lot, or they're not being still, just whatever. And so I said, okay, don't worry about it. When they come back on Monday, they'll be straight. So, of course, I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? Why you guys, whatever. I go ahead and give them a cleanse, dewormer, do a dewormer, blood purifier. They drink the olive oil. Of course, they all hate it.
Yeah.
So then and then they go through their cleansing. They feel good. They feel energetic. They're more mentally clear, more focused. And then when they get to school on that Monday, the teacher's like, okay, they're different. Like, what did you do? I said, I detoxed them. They just was filled with worms or something. But I cleansed them out, and now, they're better. And it works like clockwork. And even with me, like if I'm feeling down, I know maybe I've eaten too much bread or too much flour products. I grew up with respiratory issues, and I still have to watch my diet in order to make sure I don't have those problems. But I know when I go off, like I said, doing too much sugar or whatever, I know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And for me, there's several stages before you get to the point where you have disease, but in the first stage, it's just being tired. And then you might go into feeling a little down, a little depressed, a little anxiety and things like that. You might start feeling like stiffness in your joints or what have you, or maybe breaking out in your skin and things like that. So what I try to do is get to that first stage. Like as soon as I start feeling tired, and not for any reason in particular, like I'm not working extra. I'm not driving long miles. I'm not studying for tests and things like that. There's not really a reason for me to be tired. Then I know it's because of what I've been taking into my body, and also having toxic people around me. So I get rid of both.
The total detox. Right. So,
Yeah.
so you're a believer in cleanse, but what about other cleanses like people do the maple syrup? That's they call the master cleanse, or various things that folks buy in from different shops.
Yeah, I mean, they all work to a certain level. With the one we have, you'll get rid of gallstones within the first.
I have heard that people
24,
pass
48 hours.
gallstones and all
the
kinds of
olive
things.
oil.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me, but it's happened to a couple of my friends that have done that cleanse.
Sometimes people don't recognize because they look like little green peas.
Yeah,
and you have to make sure that you're taking the right amount too. You have to do because I think you're under 130 pounds, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're doing 8 ounces.
You sent me the instructions, and I followed your instructions to the
Right,
letter.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know otherwise I'll be off doing my cleanse with French fries. So I had to follow the instructions.
Yeah, so it's just that you get, with the cleanse we have, you're cleansing out, I guess, a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
You're still able to eat.
I mean, I felt amazing.
Yeah.
And I did feel a different. I felt I didn't have my sugar cravings.
Right.
I didn't have my French fry cravings. That took months to come back. So
Yeah,
I just didn't see any large things coming out of my body.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
Well, you're getting rid of lots of mucus as well.
Yeah,
Yeast, candida,
Ooh.
different toxins, bacteria. A lot of things come out besides the gallstones.
Yeah, my friend McCoy Zeno was telling
Yeah.
me that a lot of the toxins that come out are liquid, so you might not even know they're
Right.
coming out.
Yeah. And then parasites, sometimes they're so small you don't see them.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're so small you
Yeah,
don't see
but with
them.
the other
I don't
cleanses,
want
like
any
you're talking about the
Loch
master-
Ness monster coming
Right,
out.
right. So when you're talking about, like, say, that master cleanse, to really get good results, you have to do it for like 21 days.
Right.
But that's all you're doing. That's all you're eating. And what I like about our cleanse is that you can still eat. It's just all raw fruits and vegetables.
Right.
But you can enjoy so many different gourmet
And
type
it's
raw
7
dishes.
days.
It's 7
Although
days.
if you're paying attention, you're going to be vegan. Like whenever I've done that cleanse,
Mhm.
I'm vegan. I go vegan for a week before
Yeah.
I do it.
Right, which is good.
And then do the 7 days.
Yeah,
right?
it makes it easier on the cleanse as well. Some people like to binge.
Yeah.
Regardless of what cleanse they do, they know, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start.
It's my last
fast.
supper. Yeah.
So they'll eat and eat
Nah.
all kind of crazy
Not
stuff the
doing
day
that.
before the week. And then when they take the oil, they're sick in the bed or throwing up. It's like, it's so much, So you're supposed to take your colon cleanse just to get the excess out. And then you go into doing the oil. And then it's not so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have so many questions. We're not going to get to all of them, but we'll get to what we can. How do you feel about incrementalism? Like getting a little better rather than I'm going all the way vegan. I'm not going to eat any dairy. I'm this. Like, okay. I remember when I started kind of getting many years ago, getting more conscious. Ice cream. That was the first thing I cut out. That was hard for me.
Yes.
And then, maybe several months later, I'd cut out something else. Do you think it's all or nothing, or do you think people?
No.
Incrementalism makes a difference.
I know very few people who just went cold turkey. And then, of course, my clients and are people who are sick. Not just my clients, but even people that's coming to our store. You come in sick, then okay, yeah, we got to go cold turkey because now you're in a state where you're about to go into urgent care,
right,
or emergency.
Right.
So now, okay, we got to stop the madness right now. But other than that, I don't really. When people want to make that lifestyle change, it's a lifestyle. It's not just your food; it's a whole lifestyle. You got to think about where you're gonna eat. When you're going out with your friends, they got to be conscious to make sure there's food that you can eat. It's a whole different thing. Sometimes you end up losing friends because they're just not on the same, mindset anymore. So what I tell people to do is make a list of all those different things that you eat that are not vegetarian or not just not vegetarian because wine is vegetarian, right? It's not. There's no meat inside.
Yeah.
There's alcohol. There's
Wine,
no meat
whiskey,
inside.
yep.
Yeah, right. So
Potato
anything
chips.
that I would say that's toxic to the body or something that would go against your well-being, you make a list of all the things that you eat, right? And then on the other side, like you said, ice cream. So you're cutting out the ice cream, the dairy, but then you have all kind of different plant-based alternatives for ice cream.
Yeah.
So then you start switching up, and then you start trying to, try to find the ones that you like. Because at first it might be like, oh, this is not, the same. But then there's some out there that's like really, really good. The best ice cream I've ever tasted, vegan or not, was a raw coconut-based ice cream that was made fresh.
Wow.
It was the best I've ever tasted. And they actually put their vanilla, they put the actual vanilla bean inside. It really, and it's $10 a scoop.
Right. So you don't have to have it every day.
Right. But you learn how to make some different alternatives. So always try to counteract, let me just not balance it out. So say you have, you like to eat lots of fish or what have you. So then you have fish alternatives, but then you can just start doing more things because you're having some kind of craving that you're looking for inside of that. So then you can start eating like sea vegetables, and start incorporating those type of things in. At first, the taste might not be too cool. Some people are used to sushi, so they're used to tasting that, like the nuri sheet. And then maybe get into doing, like the Irish moss and things like that. Okay. And then that will kind of help take away the cravings, but give you what you need that you're trying to get out of the fish.
Talking with Dr. Sharita Yazid. And when we come forward, I want to see, maybe you can give us some hacks, some holiday hacks. Since you're talking about alternatives, creating alternatives to what we crave. And I'm talking about doing a little better. If you can't go all the way better, let's at least do a little better. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
In association with KBLA Talk 1580, the Terry Claiborne Foundation presents its 26th annual holiday party, Saturday, December 9th, featuring live entertainment, celebrity appearances, plus food and drinks. There is a cover charge for this party of the season, but not if you're one of our special guests. All you have to do is go to our website at KBLA1580.com and sign up. That's it. That's all. Just sign up at KBLA1580.com and you could win entrance to the soiree of the season. But whether you win or not, get a ticket, support the kids, and come join us on the red carpet in your semi-formal club attire and celebrate the season with KBLA Talk 1580 and the Terry Claiborne Foundation as we collect toys for the youth in our community. That's Saturday, December 9th, 1110 South La Cienega Boulevard, just south of Olympic. It's a holiday party with a purpose.
I'm Terry Claiborne. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Dr. Sharita is in the studio. Dr. Sharita Yazid. Dr. Sharita, if someone wants to get a consultation, either they're trying to totally change their lifestyle or they're just looking to heal from something. Probably the two most frequent complaints I hear on the radio over the years is lack of energy and sex drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, energy
They
I can
both
see, but
hand in hand.
the sex drive, okay.
Well, that really
all
is
these horny
asking
people
for
in the
a friend, 'cause-
streets.
they're saying they don't have enough.
Yeah,
like
right.
their libido is down.
There's different, and especially as we age, it might change. But so we know that.
Before you go to solutions, though, I just want to make sure they know how to reach out to you if they want to get a consultation. If they're experiencing those things or some other dis-ease, or they want to change their lifestyle, how do they contact you?
The best way and the fastest way to get me is on WhatsApp on my Ghana number, which is +233 241 453 871.
Okay.
There's no cost to you, no cost to me, and then my phone is always with me. So
WhatsApp is amazing for
Yes.
keeping international friends in contact.
Yes.
So plus 233-241-453-871.
Yes.
And you can get the herbs at newbodyproducts.net.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure, because I know people, are probably going to be asking me. So you were talking about low energy can be a precursor to disease, and also people talk about low libido.
Yeah. So, of course, detox. If you detox, a lot of things change. Sometimes it's even 50% of the problem, no matter what disease you have. Detoxing is always going to be the first line of defense. As soon as you detox, once you start feeling more energy, then your sex drive goes up as well. Some of the things that make the sex drive go down, especially for men, is dealing with high blood pressure medicines. It causes erectile dysfunction and things like that. So we help them to wean themselves off of the high blood pressure medicine and give them a more herbal, natural alternative. And then that way, we wean you off over about a month's time. And then that way, once you're off the blood pressure medicine, and you're doing your detox and cleansing, then you're able to get your libido back. But then you have some things where you can take like different type of ginsengs, your hembe, maca. There's the Tangit Ali, this new one it's not new, but it's one that's, people are pushing these days.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, and so there's just different things. And then for women, the Damiana works with both. We have some couple of combinations, and New Body that's working with the reproductive area. So of course it helps with sperm count, it helps with fertility, and of course it does help with the sex drive. It helps with the erection, and also the desire. Because sometimes women, I find a lot of times that women don't have the sex drive, especially if they're married with children.
Yeah, well,
it's like, get away from, especially me. I remember going through that.
Aphrodisiac is a babysitter.
Right, exactly. So I remember being in my 20s. I had all my children from the age of 21 to 31. And I gave birth to 5 and raised 6. And my husband just would look at me, and I'm like, don't even look at me. Don't, it was so much going on, and I'm working. So I'm also running a business, dealing with children. Somebody's playing sports. Somebody got piano lessons, and then you got to cook. It's so much going on, and you want to have what? You want to have sex? Excuse me? So it gets to the point where, of course, you have to manage those type of things. But I just saw that my sex drive just wasn't there. And I think it was just the age. But then when I turned 40, oh my God. I was like, I went to all my elder sisters and said, how come you did not warn me? You did not tell me that I was going to be a freak in these streets. Like, what is going on? I was like, I said, even the coconut man selling the coconut on the corners, I'm looking at him funny, And so, it just, I don't know.
Cycles, yeah.
Yeah, and then they all laughed at me because it's like, oh, yeah, I remember when I was 40. And I'm like, I said, okay, I'm not going to do that to my youngest sisters. I'm going to let them know, okay, you're about to turn 40, and this is what's about to happen. Yeah,
How about a few, okay, let me go to this question from a caller because we're tight on time here. According to our anonymous caller, according to him, Dr. Sebi was all about anti-mucus, Dr. Africa anti-white rice, Dr. Wallach about nutrition, and the question is, what's the main thing you would associate with Dr. Goss?
He was always on the parasite thing, anti-parasite. He was holistic, and of course, all those different things that you mentioned. But even Dr. Africa used to say that if y'all want to know about parasites, and that's Dr. Goss.
And what about Dr. Sharita?
I think for me, it's more emotional and spiritual balance. Because I feel like when you have a strong alignment with the ancestors and with the Most High, it keeps you more disciplined.
Yeah, right.
And you want to do right. You have to think, like I told my friend the other day, I said, I don't answer to nobody but my ancestors and the Most High. I said, not my mama, my daddy, my father now, of course, he's an ancestor.
Right.
But my children, because at the end of the day, the question that I ask myself is, ancestors, are you pleased with what I have done today? And if you're not, then let me know. So for some reason, when I'm in Africa, it's like straight right away. Right away, I find out, and whether good or bad. And I noticed that when every morning I pour my libations, I have my meditation and things like that. And I tell people, you see better with your eyes closed. Close your eyes, meditate, and focus inside. And then when you're working more on that enemy in the inner me, then that's the first step to being able to align yourself with the Most High and get yourself back in balance, your family, your community, and then eventually, the world. If everybody just focus on their inner self. So you have to look at all those different things that you're doing that that's detrimental. Maybe some things you might not know. Somebody else will point it out. But those things that that are very detrimental to yourself, look at those things, but also, ask the Most High, ask your ancestors to help. It's nothing wrong with asking for help, getting that support system. I believe that when somebody does a cleanse, I say, have everybody's not sick in the house, but have everybody to do the cleanse in the house, because they have to understand, what you're going through, what you're doing. So try to make it to where you are focused more spiritually. I feel like a lot of our past healers that are very, popular, like Dr. Goss, Dr. Sebi, Africa, I didn't see too much emphasis on the spiritual side, even though we're talking about mind, body, and spirit. I didn't see a lot of emphasis on that side of it. Yeah. I find it more with women healers, whether they're popular or not. I met Ma'a Sebi, which was one of his wives. I think she's the one that gave him the name. I felt that she was very spiritual. I met her in Brazil. Her energy was a certain way. And I noticed that because I focus on that, I'm able to see things. I don't have to look in your eyes. I can just have a conversation with you and then kind of see what's going on. I get people to open up and talk about what's really happening, because you have to get to the core. To me, getting to the core of the problem is finding out what caused the manifestation in the first place.
Man, time flies when you're on the radio. Dr. Sharita Yazid, thank you so much for joining me today and getting us in a well-being mindset for this coming period of time.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully I'll catch up with you more often, even if it's on the phone from Ghana.
Yeah, for sure. I got you on WhatsApp.
Thank you. Well, I end with a quote, but today I'm going to end quoting you, Dr. Sharita. You said, "You see better with your eyes closed."
Yes.
Have a happy, happy, happy holiday. Tavis Smiley's up next. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information